to Talk Habesha.
Welcome back to Talk Habesha. In today's episode, we will be talking about issues we face pleasing our parents and discipline in the household as we grow up.
So the first question we've got is, do you guys feel like your parents have influenced any decisions you're going to make or have made in your life?
Marriage, I mean.
What, arranged marriage?
Okay, I'll elaborate. Basically, it's mainly with my mum, really. She wants me to really go down. Actually, my dad does as well, but she really, it's mainly her that really wants me to get out. Make sure I'm with an Abisha woman and keep it within the community. There you go. You could say like that.
She wants you to get someone from church, basically.
Not necessarily church, but like just make sure the person Abisha. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? And as much as I've argued, like I can't help who I like, for example, that doesn't seem to work out. It doesn't. Do you know what I'm saying?
How much does that influence you though? Like,
Oh no! At the end of the day, whether she likes it or not, I want to end up with who I want to end up with, isn't it? Like that's how I see it, and I've made my opinion clear to her. Whether she accepts it, that's another story, innit? But, yeah,
so you're saying you would go against? You would go against?
No, yeah, 100%. Like if I liked a girl who wasn't Abisha.
But in the back of your mind, don't you always think like, oh, if she was a Habesha, it would have been so much easier because of culture and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what they think.
But like, I'm sure they do as well. But if I feel like it's worth me being with that girl because that girl makes me happy or whatever, and she's not Abisha, then I'm gonna do it.
What about other decisions like education or career kind of decisions, like?
From young, it was like, what, doctor?
You have to be a doctor.
Doctor, lawyer.
Yeah, like one of them high profile.
Doctors.
How's that affected you? Like, do you think that you've listened to them or you?
No, we're not younger on it. Like when I was younger, like around year 10, that's like GCSE stage. I was taking on board a lot of things they wanted me to do, like a doctor, for example. But I kept telling them like that's not my interest. Like compared to other things like business or marketing, and stuff, which I actually enjoy and will see myself doing longer, like when I get older. You know what I'm saying? Like so, at the beginning there was a bit of conflict, but I slowly embedded into them that like, this is what I want to do, and like it's beneficial for me because I enjoy it. Meaning I know I'll get great results in it, and yeah. So after that, I'm just going on to
What about everyone else?
Basically, the way I look at it, you and your parents have two different ideas of like what success is, really and truly, because your idea of success is totally different to theirs. Their idea is you finishing education, getting a good job, hitting 4 years old with a wife and kids, and that's it. Whereas you probably have bigger dreams than going uni.
Yeah.
You probably got like individual interests or whatever. And when you're younger as well, it's not a thing where you're forced to do certain things or choose certain subjects. You're advised to, but if you don't choose it, then
Some people are forced to.
that's when you get into
Yeah.
it.
There are some people that are forced.
Yeah, actually
Yeah.
forced. I don't feel like my parents ever forced it. Well, I feel like the only thing they wanted was for us to get a degree in it. Like they just want us to go to university and get.
But that, I don't think that actually they wouldn't have minded if we didn't go uni. But if you
Nah,
had-
I don't think that's true.
No,
Really?
like there was a before.
Why didn't no one
before-
tell me this?
Before I went to uni, because obviously A-levels.
They never said that to me.
A-levels was really stressful, and obviously there was a
Yeah.
period where maybe I thought
Oh, you thought you would?
like I wouldn't even get into uni.
Alright, yeah.
And then my
yeah.
dad was like, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
they're very
You get into
understanding.
uni,
Yeah.
like
It sounds like your parents are quite
it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
thinking.
Like it's not like he wants you to just sit on the couch and do nothing, but like.
Right, to me though, it was complete opposite. It was like, make sure your A-levels are on point. Make sure you get the grades to go like.
Yeah, you
I
were
remember
to
your
go.
mum
Huh?
even said to me.
Nah, she's young. She's older than me. Sorry, only by a year.
Your mum even said to me like make sure I get a first degree. and I didn't.
You know what it is? It's because she wanted us to see you get a degree and then
Set an
like,
example.
set an
I'm sorry, I
example.
let you guys know. It's alright, I'm
Yeah, I always did take the family's advice of getting the degree, but that's not because I couldn't. I was very academic actually, and I had the grades and the capability to do it. I just like it wasn't a path for me. Like I felt like by that time I was like, oh, I was done with education. I really wanted to just go out into the world and just do like what I felt I was meant to do.
Mhm.
So it was really difficult when I told my mum. Like, in fact, I didn't even tell. Like, I held off telling her until it was like too late to go to uni, and then it was like I had no choice at that point. I can't remember if she cried or not, but I just remember it was very dramatic. Like, and it was quite disappointing, and I felt really hurt that like I felt like I was letting her down. But in the long run, I think it's like worked out for the better, and she's like kind of accepted it. But sometimes she'll still say, "Oh, Marion, you know you can still go uni."
Yeah,
I'm like,
no,
"Mom."
I just think that because I was always good at maths from a young age, so my dad was always like, "Oh, you should like use it and stuff like that. Just be like, don't let it go to waste." But at the same time, because I was also good at drawing and art and whatever, they would also encourage me to like. My dad would encourage me to draw and stuff like that. But
They always show off
yeah,
stuff on Facebook.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like my dad would always encourage me to like to also be creative, and I feel like they never pressured me to pick my degree or whatever. I chose it, but I feel like I slightly regret not deciding to be more creative.
Yeah.
I went with maths, but I slightly like even with GCSEs like, I did art and product design, and then A levels I did product design, and then maths and further maths. But I decided to go more with the maths, and I slightly regret it. I feel like I should have done something more creative because now my course is just peak. Like, I slightly regret it, but
growing up,
yeah.
like I was very creative. I used to do music and stuff. I used to do little shows, even back in Ethiopia. But then I used to get like little comments from family members, not gonna say who, that they used to like bring me down. So that kind of made me a bit insecure about myself growing up. Well, now obviously I know that I shouldn't really care about that, but yeah, even when it came to uni, I had to take like a year off because I was so confused. I didn't know what I wanted to do because my dad, he wanted me to do like medicine or like business, you know, but yeah, I kind of regret it. Right now I'm doing psychology, but yeah, I kind of wished I was more in the, you know, music and creative.
I feel like on the other hand of things, to look at it from a different perspective, I think that the way that they've brought us up has kind of paid off. So for them trying to push us into like big fields, like for example say be a doctor or be an accountant, etc., is not because they idolize the whole being a doctor thing. It's because of the success that comes with it, the money that comes with it, the status that comes with it. And it's like some people will follow their parents' advice and be doctors and be lawyers, etc. And some other people will appreciate the high standard that they've set and will go into a different field and try their best to match that standard. Do you get what I'm saying?
Are they happy though?
I don't think, but this is what I think. I feel like initially they might not be happy, but if it works out for you, then I think they will.
I feel like a lot of our parents came from a generation where education equals success.
Yeah.
There was no other road to success, and to be honest, like they haven't kept up with the like today. Like you could gain success in so many different fields, and you can't really blame parents for it because like they've come here and they're just focused on. They're doing the right thing. Their parents let their kids know. They want the best for you. Yeah. Like for me, I honestly spent 5 years at uni doing biomedical science. Like it was a crazy tough, course. Yeah, and then in the end, I just like it wasn't until I left uni that I realized, no, I'm actually going to just do my thing. I started my own company, started business and stuff.
See the circumstances that our parents were in before they came to this country, and what they've been through to get here, and also the time and effort they put in. Do you feel like you guys owe it to them at all?
Owe it to them to what, please?
You have to make them proud.
Yeah,
You want to make them proud.
Yeah, I think to make them proud.
Like, as much as like you want the money or you want the cars or you want this, you have your own goals, right? But I feel like in the back of your mind you should always remember like that. Like they've actually done so much for us. If your parents want you to go uni and you don't want to go uni, you shouldn't go to uni because that's what you have in your head. But what I'm saying is, whatever your craft is, whatever you're good at, your niche, master it and do it for yourself, but do it because you have someone to make proud of as well. Do you feel me?
Yeah.
That's
I
why
was just
look
gonna
at
say
it.
like I've heard a lot of people actually say while they're at uni, oh, I just went to uni for my mom, I just went for my uni to uni just to make my parents proud, and it's actually not a passion, that's not something that they actually want to do. And then like 2-3 years in, they find that it's something they can't, like they're not capable enough to do it, and then they end up failing their exams, and it's like, what's the point of doing something that you're actually not good at. You might as well do something that you're gonna excel at, knowing that you have passion, rather than just doing something for your parents.
So a lot of money just
Yeah.
Take on
But,
debt.
and the mental capacity that you need for uni,
Yeah.
especially if you go outside of London,
It's
like,
draining.
it's mentally draining for you. So like, I feel like that's very dangerous. Like, that's very like, it's not a good thing to do. And to add on to what Adonai said, like, I feel like you can still live for yourself and make them proud, because
Yeah, it's true.
I think at the end of the day you own yourself, like, and you own your life, and it is your life. But you can, I feel like either way, as long as you're happy and you're successful in what you want to do, eventually I feel like they will catch on. It just, I think the hardest part is at the beginning.
Yeah,
Once
once
it's
they
initial disappointment, and then
But it
like,
depends on the
once they
parent,
see
though.
you,
It depends
like,
on the
doing-
parent.
Yeah, okay.
Not all parents are the same.
They
Like,
still won't
some
be
are more
happy.
tolerant, like some are not. Like,
Yeah.
like,
I feel like that can just become toxic.
Yeah.
And then that's where, like,
so what do you do in that situation?
but in that situation, you just have to give them space. I can't lie, you can't, even if say they just completely reject it, you just have to let them deal with it.
Yeah.
They have to just,
Oh.
you just have to
I-
let them,
It's really-
you just have to let them deal with
I
it.
agree.
I agree.
I agree, that's the best way, otherwise you're gonna be hurting.
Yeah.
You're gonna be hurting, and instead you should let them deal with it, and eventually it's gonna,
They'll understand.
eventually they will, because they do love you, like.
What other ways do you think they affect you, like in what other decisions in life? Was your parents strict when it comes to tattoos and things like that?
Tattoos,
Oh.
Dad would hate it.
Yeah, my dad doesn't like
My
tattoos.
mum always
so
says
he
though
hates
that she wants a tattoo.
I think
but
my mum
think she's
cares.
I think she's
No, I told them, they don't really care.
I saw
for
it.
it.
I
Yeah.
tweeted
No, I think
it.
mum would care.
My
No,
brothers
mum-
have piercings.
If I came home with a tattoo, Mum would care.
The only way
Yeah,
you get
she
away
was
with it is
still
if you
shit.
do like a massacre.
Yeah. I think you should start off with that one.
Me
Finish,
personally, I wouldn't get
yeah, like I don't even care about wanting to get a tattoo, so like that doesn't really matter. So.
What,
But then imagine if there was someone who like really wanted the tattoo or was into that stuff, but like their parents just wasn't letting it run. Like
Both
I-
my
I
parents
don't
have
think-
tattoos.
Is it?
Not like a lot, but my mum has
So they can't really say
Let's
nothing.
say
got
you're-
one
you
and
got
my
a
dad
green
has
light.
one, but like, no, my dad has two, but I can't. I feel like, yeah, okay, they'd let me have a tattoo, but nothing, like I wouldn't be allowed to have a sleeve or anything like that. They're both like somewhere you never see the tattoo, so like when they're wearing clothes, you'd never see it.
I think that comes back to career thing again. Like, they just don't want anything to affect your dreams, getting a job basically.
I feel like our parents, they care a lot about our appearance because they care about how other people are gonna see you. So like my dad cares a lot about my hair. Like he doesn't like it, especially when I was growing it and stuff. He would just say things like, "Oh, people like when they look at you, they're gonna think certain things." So like I feel like you shouldn't let that like affect what you decide to do. Like I feel like they care. I feel like they care a lot about how other people look at you, but it doesn't matter really. So just like kind of do the things that you want to do anyways.
I agree to the point because like it's not mainly my parents. They don't really care, but the thing is that how other people will view so like for a job interview or whatever, especially if I'm about to start my career, like my uncles and aunts would be like, you need to cut that off. It's professional. You know what I'm saying? Like, look a bit more, I don't know, that's the way we're gonna call it. So to that sentiment, yeah, I agree. I get what you're trying to do.
But what are you guys gonna do like when that time comes? Like you're looking for a job or something. You say for example, yeah, you got an interview at investment banking firm in the city. No, it's a serious question.
But
Like what you
no, I think to be honest, yeah, I know that I'm gonna eventually cut my hair anyways. Like when I get bored of it, because I'm not gonna have long hair forever. Like that's just long.
Yeah.
So
That's exactly
It's
what
a
I
phase. It's a phase. Like
yeah,
It is a phase.
experimenting.
It is a phase. Yeah,
And you should be allowed
I just
to
want
do
to try
that.
different things
Yeah,
and
as a
like,
young
have
person.
different styles and that.
I think
Yeah.
it stems from the idea of pride, realistically. Your
Of
parent pride, realistically.
But
your
I feel like
parents
no,
see your hair's long and that.
Yeah.
And you go certain places, people talk about you. Can't like Habeshas love to gossip. Don't get twisted.
Yeah,
They talk a lot behind your back.
but the whole, you know where the whole thing comes from? It's all of it's like
Perception.
no, it's like
Gender
it's not. It's racism. It is racism.
Yeah, I've experienced.
because they like here in the West and Europe, they've made Afro hair
Taboo.
like
yeah.
as a bad thing. Like
Yeah.
it's bad to have big like Afro natural hair. Like you think that it's not nice,
Yeah.
but this is our natural hair. Like we shouldn't be ashamed of our
I
natural.
was trying to think that.
I think in,
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
in our
They-
Normalize
no,
racism.
you know, you think when you have
Normalize
Cut
racism.
hair like for boys or for girls.
yeah, both. Like you know, they'll think, oh, your hair should be short. Why is that? Why do you think?
I think
Yeah,
no,
why should they?
I think in
Why,
our community, in the Habesha community, that's more of a gender role thing. As in, boys should have a low cut hair, neat low cut hair, and girls should have their hair certain way. Rather than racism, I think it's more in our community.
No,
I think it's
yeah.
more a gender.
I don't know. I feel like it's because you know that white people will like certain types of like they like how when you look a certain way in it. They'd rather you have short hair and they'd rather you have
But
straight
would they be
hair
like, if
and
we
stuff
lived
like
in
that.
Ethiopia or Eritrea, do you think they would still have that same mentality where they weren't,
But they do.
weren't in the white gays?
Because all schools in Ethiopia, like they don't allow guys. I don't know about girls. They don't allow guys to have like long hair. It has to be cut.
So maybe it isn't just a cultural thing then.
Maybe. One story, yeah. Imagine I was in Uganda and I was at church and my hair was tied up in 2 buns. So I'm stood in the mass now, and there's loads of little kids, and everyone there is sort of like they come straight from Eritrea or whatever. So a little kid runs up to me and he screams, "Uwi, Guadairo." I'm thinking,
What that mean?
basically, that means
You say,
no. He's like no. And he changed into his girl. He's a girl. Like everyone around my cousin was laughing in my face. Everyone
Yeah,
around
that's
me.
that's what I'm saying. It all comes back to like gender roles. It's like if I was younger, if I say to my mom, I want to get earring or whatever, she's gonna say like, oh, granddad's gonna say you're a girl. Like,
Yes,
it
it
comes
is.
back
Oh my
to gender
God.
roles.
Yeah.
It's more gender. I think in our culture it's more about gender. There is probably something to the race thing as well. Like when they move out of the country, they want to comply to the norms of that place. You know, the question is like, does that make sense or not? I personally like, I do not fundamentally think that we should have to conform. But having said that, I understand that we are not in our natural. This is not our land, isn't it? Real talk.
Yeah.
So if you want to be effective in this place, you have to kind of like
comply.
Yeah, it's in certain areas.
Just to add to that, I don't think that's something that just applies to Habesha. I think that
That's
applies
across the
to
board.
anyone who's an immigrant in this country.
Yeah.
How were your parents when you like grew up like with discipline? Like did they discipline you? Like how did they discipline you?
My childhood was stressful.
Pure
Elaborate.
No, mum's watching.
There's obviously the normal things like
kneeling down and
oh yeah, hands up.
You had that as well?
Yeah.
you have to face the corner.
Yeah. But did you have carpets or laminate flooring?
Laminate, we don't have no carpet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hard, isn't it?
Wooden floor,
Yeah,
yeah.
your knees
Wooden
in
floor.
You know what? Hands up on your knees.
Facing the wall.
I never experienced.
One time,
Yeah.
who is it? Someone had to go behind because everyone was watching TV in it.
Yeah.
So someone had to go behind the TV so they couldn't watch it as well.
yeah.
They put it behind the
Yeah.
TV.
It was down. I think it
Yeah.
was in one of our auntie's houses.
Yeah.
It wasn't ours.
It was one of our cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just getting beat. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
Straight beatings.
Slip-on belt.
But
Yeah.
do you guys think you'll be the same with your kids?
Yeah.
No.
Obviously, there's
Yeah, wait,
the
not
No,
how
Yes, to an extent.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Because it's got a
You gotta be
position
firm
where
with
So what about like
Yeah.
sleepovers and like
No
like
sleepovers.
going out with
Sleepers
friends?
on social
stuff like
media,
that.
but I don't understand.
What?
What is it? Your parents didn't let you have sleepers?
No.
Was you allowed to go on like loads of sleepovers and that?
No.
Summertime, I was around my friend's house.
No.
Everyone used to have
Do you know
The only time I ever had a sleepover was back.
Some would be like you had your own house,
Thank
Yeah, but then again, like when it came to like when I got older, you could only have fun. Say if I had fun on Friday, there'd be
Yeah.
fun Saturday. and
That was
then
the one you got. My dad yeah, would be like, why do you need to have fun every day? It's like, you had fun last week.
Yeah, you went out yesterday.
Like last Saturday you did this. And it'll be like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like, you were last week, you was... Yeah, I
Do you remember
remember.
the time when you
I
came
came
home
home late.
from school and
Mum was
gonna
crying.
Say, like, she
She
was
was
gonna
calling the police and that.
Crying.
Came home late.
Like
And my
6
phone,
o'clock
my
or
battery,
something.
it was like 6 or 7.
Yeah, and if your
My
battery dies,
I was just playing football.
Oh.
You know, like we play football
Yeah,
after
yeah,
school,
yeah,
and then like go chicken and chip shop.
She
And
was
just like take bare long.
Too long,
Like,
innit?
everyone just walking mad slow, chilling,
Yeah.
and then they just get. Parents are like, the parents think you're like.
Dead, right?
Doing
They're
something
thinking the
that's
worst.
real.
They're thinking the
Like, you know
worst.
when you're out for 2 days and you get that text wherever you are, don't come back.
If I never ever got a don't come back. You know, you be chilling.
No, but they say that because they want to come back.
Have you not never been locked out? Or will you come
Nah,
out?
I've never been locked out. So my parents wouldn't do
My
that to
mum
us.
was- yeah, she'd
Yeah.
go back.
She'll go back.
She said she will. She said I'll like don't come like I'll lock it whatever. But at the end of the day, if I'm there, I'll like.
Yeah, I feel like I had a good balance. Like my mum was like very caring about where I was going. Like, and I couldn't just hang out late at night and things like that. But I think she was smart in the sense where she didn't try and restrict me too much. And you know when people get restricted too much, that they sometimes end up rebelling.
When they get a little bit of
I
freedom,
feel like
they
because
tend to
she did give me a bit more freedom, like in the sense where she wasn't trying to control me too much. I think I would make sensible decisions most of the time.
That's what I think it's about balance, isn't it?
Yeah, balance. And I don't. And she actually, she didn't hit me, which I think a lot of the time.
Wow.
Like.
What?
I think she was
I used to be
friends.
scared of your mum.
No, what? She's probably like more intimidating than she actually is, like, because she's quite a gentle soul. So she would like say, if I was crying, she'd say, cover your mouth, like, she'd be like,
Oh yeah, don't cry.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
and I
Don't cry.
yeah, but I think like if she was threatening to hit me, like I deep down knew she wasn't gonna really hurt me.
Would you guys?
I think I wouldn't now because I think that being
Would you?
see I think the people that hit their
You know
kids
what?
got hit are more likely to want to use violence.
My mum used to obviously hit us when we were younger, but like I feel like she's changed now with my little brother. And sometimes when I was like disciplining him, and my mum would tell me off for hitting him, but I'd be like to my mum, but you used to hit us and you should hit him like discipline. She's like, no, don't hit. But I'm confused because we were getting slapped left, right, and centre when we were younger. So I don't get it. Like,
So you think you would
what's changed?
hit your kids now?
Like,
if you had kids.
If I had kids, I would, but obviously
To an extent,
To an
though,
extent.
not like.
I'm not gonna beat them up.
Yeah.
But, no, and I wouldn't hit them with a belt or a slipper or anything like
You
that.
wouldn't?
No.
No.
With a belt.
I feel that's deep.
Yeah.
Once or twice, like just to get them in line. But
I think a belt, me personally, I think a belt is like, that's crazy.
No,
But I
no.
think like a
It's
slipper,
abuse.
like a
It's
slipper is
abuse.
alright. But
You shouldn't have to resort to something violent.
What about
like,
punching?
and what example?
Oh, the way
Shit, that's too harsh, you
Can I
know.
just say, I want to add something to this, yeah? Like, for me, I feel that using violence on children in any way is just lazy parenting.
That's
That's
exactly
facts.
what I
Because,
think.
and not just lazy, it's either lazy or they just haven't got the tools. They don't
Yes.
know how to use psychology and stuff
Yes.
to actually,
Yeah.
it's just like a rudimentary way of raising
It's
kids.
easier.
And I think it really damages like the black community in a big way. Like I feel like we just have a lot of violence.
No, but-
We have a lot of violence in our upbringing,
But you-
and it carries on into our future. We need to learn
No,
ways to
understand.
actually
What
convince
example you
children
said?
hold-
Yeah.
using
no.
psychology.
Yeah, I understand that, but
Like, it
then
needs to be
you,
more
you say
sophisticated.
that, but then you look at. I've been in a white household, innit? And I've seen like
Crazy things.
I've seen them.
Yeah,
tell
but
them-
that's
they,
their way.
they tell their mum to shut up.
Yeah, but that's
like,
their way.
Mum,
That's
go away.
their
Like,
way. That's
they'll
not what
be
I'm saying.
sir, like,
I'm
No,
not
that's
for-
not it.
No, but I'm not
Yes.
saying I'm not saying there should be no discipline. That's totally different. Like if you
Yeah.
go to these white, like a lot of white families, not all, but you go to loads and there's just no discipline. Like the kids, they're just like begging their kids. No, I'm saying use a sophisticated way to get your kids. That's mad. That's mad. Like they're two extremes, isn't it?
I feel like you should be able to like set a level of authority without resorting to violence. Like there's so many other ways with psychology, like you said, and tone of voice, and even a look. Like even you should be able to have a certain level of control. But having said that, I don't know what it's like when you have a kid. You don't know what type of personality the child's gonna have.
Mm.
But that shouldn't be your your instant reaction. There are some people that can't wait to hit their kids. I'm like,
That's a
no,
bit
no.
psycho.
That's
That's a bit psycho then.
That's
No, but
sad as
the
well.
fact that people already know they want to hit their kids, I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think
Yeah.
you should already know, yeah, I'm going to hit my
Yeah,
kids.
because what you teach your kids as well, you're teaching
Yeah.
them if you have like a difficult situation, use violence to get out of it.
Yeah.
That's what you're basically telling them. That's the lesson. Or you're gonna
But do you
create
feel like
other
that's?
trauma.
But you don't. Do you feel like you? I don't feel like I'm violent. I'm not a violent
There you
person.
No, you might not be
So,
violent.
I
You
mean-
might not be violent. You might not be violent, but maybe you haven't been pushed into a situation. I think the takeaway for me, like, is just I think we need to upgrade our parenting skills. Like we need to actually parenting to me is like a skill. Like you need to learn how to actually raise a kid. Like it's alright to take away privileges from them. So there's still consequences. Isn't
Yeah,
there?
that was
Like,
always a
that's
thing, though.
100%. That's
Yeah.
life, isn't it? That's a life lesson. You act
Like-
a certain way, there's going to be consequences.
No.
I mean,
No more
having said
PlayStation.
that though, I'm saying that parenting is a skill. Parenting is not something that you can like learn by reading a book, for example. Parenting is
It's
something that you can
experience.
only learn
But who
through
said
trial
that?
and error. No,
Who
no,
said
just as a point of conversation, you can't read a book and then be the perfect parent. It's something that it's like drawing. You can't be told how to draw and then you're the perfect. You have to try and try and try till you master it. So by saying that now, are you accepting that, for example, if you have 3 kids, you might not parent your kids to the best of your ability if you take a new direction towards parenting?
All I'm saying is like if that when that time comes, I want to have kids.
Yeah.
I'm gonna approach it the same way as I did before I started driving. I'm gonna go learn about it. Like I'm not just gonna go into it and assume I know how to do it. Like people just go into it blind. Yeah, you can learn about it. I understand what you're saying. It's just psychology. Isn't it? How do you create actions in other people through your behaviour? Like, it's a science. It's actually a science. It's not true. You know what I mean? Like, just learn, at least get some basics. Like
There's only so much that
It's
can
like-
offer though. To be honest. You have to be put in a position.
It's like when you're in school and there's certain teachers that like you just know you can't really mess with. Just the way that they'll come in the room, like they have a certain presence, and I think that that's all in your demeanour, how you.
100%.
And I think that you can have that same impact with parenting as well. But
Because there are some teachers you just know they're just like pushovers.
Yeah.
Some of them you know they're pushovers, isn't it? You can just do whatever you want.
Are you guys talking about learning how to parent beforehand, like before having a child?
Yeah, like I say, you got at least got 9 months, innit?
Yeah, I know, but that's different though. Like when you actually have a child,
That's what I'm saying.
it
Like, there's
changes.
so much you
It's
can
like
do.
reading how to ride a bike and actually getting on the bike and trying to ride
There
it.
you go.
Not really.
No,
Because
it's
riding a
like,
bike,
it's like
riding
when
a
it
bike
comes to
is-
driving, you have to learn.
You have to do your
Like,
theory.
you know, you have to
You have
do
to know
your
which,
theory.
what the signs
You
mean.
can't just
I don't
say,
like
like,
that.
Yeah, but
I don't like
but
that.
in essence, you get in the car and learn how to drive.
and you can
Fail
get
driving.
in that. It's like, why do people crash? People have licenses and they crash.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it's
But
like.
would you say that doing a theory is not worth doing?
No, of course it's
100%
not.
no.
That's what I'm
In
saying.
that aspect, yeah.
But
not
what
by
parent?
itself,
But how
you
many
have to
parents
do
do
practice.
that?
And also, if different children have different needs as well, like some children might
Definitely.
need more harsher discipline than others, and like different techniques. So it's like about understanding your child and their needs and stuff.
Yeah, I think understanding your child is really important because obviously a lot of children are born with, or not even born, like pick up things like autism,
Yeah.
disabilities,
Yeah.
ADHD, and like being a parent is very important to be able to like adapt and to like understand what needs to be tended to with your child. I think that's like really, really important as well.
I feel like that's what they lack. Like they lack
Yeah.
understanding and they lack being able to communicate with us and actually understand what the issue is, and like they resort to violence and like anger straight away. So that kind of creates like internal issues within ourselves, which we pass on to our kids. And
Exactly.
it's like a
Never
constant
ends.
cycle.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
trauma carries on.
Hopefully we can like learn from our experiences, and when we have kids, we'll be able to like implement, lessons that we've learned and things we do differently, things we do better, and things that we do the same.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I think we can all agree that our parents like have the best
Interest at heart.
interest at heart.
Yeah, of course.
We all appreciate it.
We love you.
We appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.